What would you do if you spent 3 hours confessing every embarrassing detail about your crush to your best friend and then realized you'd just made the worst mistake of your entire life? It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was lying on my bed with absolutely nothing to do except obsess over every single interaction I'd ever had with Jasper, the guy who sat behind me in calculus. He somehow made my entire brain short-circuit every time he even looked in my direction. I'd been holding all these feelings inside for months, and I finally decided I could not take it for another second. So I grabbed my phone and pulled up what I thought was my chat with my best friend Jade to tell her everything I'd been bottling up. I started typing, and the words just poured out of me like a dam breaking. Months and months of emotions I'd been too scared to admit finally making their way onto a screen where someone else could actually see them. I sent my first message saying, "Okay, I literally cannot hold this in anymore. I need to tell you everything about Jasper before I explode." And she responded with, "Oh wow, okay, go for it." So I just let it all pour out. I told her, "I think about him constantly, like actually every single hour of the day, and I've memorized his entire class schedule so I can accidentally bump into him in the hallway." And she sent back, "That's actually insane," which I figured was just her being playfully judgmental the way she always was. I kept going and said, "I made a whole playlist of songs that remind me of him, and it's literally 23 songs long. And then, also I pretended to be confused in class last week just so he would lean over and help me." And she responded with just a question mark, but I was way too deep in my spiral to even think about why that was weird. I confessed I found out the cologne that he wears and I sprayed it on my pillow so I can smell him all of the time. And she said, "Wait, seriously?" Which made me laugh because obviously she was just teasing me. I sent, "I'm pretty sure I'm actually in love with him. Not just a crush, but like love. I've literally never felt this way about anyone in my entire life." And she asked, "How long have you felt like this?" So I told her it started the very first day of junior year when he picked up my pencil and smiled at me. Then I decided to confess the most humiliating part and typed, "Okay, don't judge me, but I literally practiced writing my name with his last name in the back of my notebook, like I'm 12 years old, and I've been practicing what I would say if I ever actually confessed to him." And I finished with, "I'm probably going to die alone because I'm too scared to ever make a move. This boy has no idea he owns my entire heart, and I'm too pathetic to do anything about it." I hit send and waited for her to respond with something supportive or at least lovingly roast me for being so obsessed, but instead my phone buzzed with a message that made my entire body go cold. It said, "So are you going to tell me all this in person, or do I need to keep pretending I don't know it's about me?" I stared at those words while my brain completely refused to process what I was reading, and I genuinely thought she was making some weird joke that I wasn't understanding. I sent back, "What are you talking about?" And the response came almost immediately saying, "I'm talking about the fact that you just spent 3 hours telling me you're in love with me." I felt my stomach flip in a way that made me think I might actually be sick, and I frantically scrolled all the way back up to the very top of our conversation to check something I should have checked 3 hours ago. The name at the top of the screen didn't say Jade, it said Jasper. Their names were sitting right next to each other in my contact list because the universe apparently hated me. I had somehow tapped on the wrong one and spent the entire afternoon confessing my deepest, most humiliating secrets directly to the exact person those secrets were about. I literally threw my phone across the room and screamed into my pillow because there was absolutely no coming back from this, and I was going to have to transfer schools or possibly flee the country entirely. I stayed face down on my pillow for a solid 10 minutes while genuinely considering whether witness protection was an option for situations like this, but then my phone buzzed again from somewhere on the floor. When I finally worked up the courage to crawl over and check it, there was one more message from Jasper that said, "For what it's worth, I think my last name would actually look pretty good next to your first name."